I told you 25 years ago that you could bet $1,000 on whether or not the Miami Dolphins would go 25 years without a playoff win, that probably would have returned 10 mil, if not more.
Oh, yeah.
Like if you could do that on Kalshi right now or on Polymarket right now and pick any team you want.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
Michael Jordan retired at the age of 30 in 1993. He missed the 93-94 season. Furthermore, he came back for 17 games in 1995 when he gave up baseball. And when I mean gave up baseball, he gave up baseball on March 18th and came back to basketball March 19th, which means no ramp up, no training camp, no nothing.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
You ain't buying no tickets.
Who isn't?
You're not going to
Saying
these
I'm a
games.
fan. Of course I'm not. There's a fan. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, but if you were a fan, I thought you were a fan of the Hurricanes. You're not
They told me. I
smashed
told them
you.
to donate my tickets.
Yeah, so I get it. But the fans travel. They have money, believe it or not. It's amazing. Somebody's
in this
got
economy,
money.
in this economy,
But they have money. I don't know. See what Kalshi says about the economy.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
I'm just saying, if I were a good NFL head coach, if I were a hot offensive coordinator, and that coaching cycle's going to come around, and they're like, hey, do you want the Giants job? Or do you want the Michigan job? I think the Michigan job is much better.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Let's roll. In-game live has begun. I am Gabriel Morency on the SportsGrid Radio and Television Network. Countdown to kickoff is on. The Los Angeles Rams and the Atlanta Falcons break it down. The final regular season Monday nighter of the year as the Rams. Is it a big game for the Rams? Yes and no. We're starting to see right now load management is starting to appear in the National Football League. Look at the Chargers. The Chargers could potentially be playing for a seed. They don't care. They're resting Justin Herbert in their football game. Devontae Adams could be playing tonight. The LA Rams said, you know what, let's just hold off and bring back Devontae Adams in the playoffs. So, it's one of those type of games. But the Atlanta Falcons, that Kirk Cousins is going to be throwing the football all over the place. That Bijan Robinson is going to be doing his thing. And the Rams, the Rams are competing. Their players are playing in this football game. But it's kind of tricky. We're to the point now where it's like, let's just bring on the playoffs right now. As I stated, the Buffalo Bills lost yesterday, but I don't think they want to play the Jacksonville Jaguars. So I don't think they're really crying about their position. And now you see the Chargers are rolling over and tanking in their football game against the Denver Broncos this week. But the LA Rams are not tanking. At least I hope they don't, because I've got them in a money line parlay to close out a parlay with Georgia Southern earlier today in bowl action. So we'll get to our plays here and our picks. We'll get Wetzel's picks in a couple of minutes when he steps up and joins us. The number has come down. It was 7.5. I see there's 7s on the board right now. We submitted our picks, and I actually put my picks in for this football game 2 hours ago, which I'm actually usually a last-minute type of bettor, so I did this earlier than I normally do. And we got the Rams at -6.5, -122. So it's not a bad price. And we got another play with the Rams and even -6 as well, like a -138 or so. I do think there'll be points put up on the board in this game. Robinson, he's just a stat monster, and he's going to want to go off. You've got Kyle Pitts, who's playing for money. He's a free agent. You look at this football team as a whole over the last couple of weeks, and the Falcons have competed because of individual stats and individual reasons. It's like the great Bo Schembechler. The Michigan Wolverines speech. He said, this is the last time you're going to play for a team. You'll play for a contract. You'll play for this. You'll play for that. You'll play for a bonus. And it is true, right? Like a lot of these guys in the NFL, they're not overly concerned about playoffs and stuff like that. They're concerned about their numbers and getting paid. It is a business, right? It is a job. It's a passion to the fans, but to the players, it is a job. So I'm expecting points in this game. Number one, Nakua is unstoppable. And I think the Rams are going to be able to put up. Points on the Falcons, and the Falcons have nothing to lose. So Kirk Cousins is going to throw the ball all over the place, and he can dump it off to Robinson and pick up big chunks. So let's go over the number. Listen, I think we sort of got spoiled last night with an overpalooza and the props all hitting. It's a lot of fun when it's that easy. I don't think it's going to be like a full out track meet. I don't think we're getting into the 80s. In this football game, but we should get into the 50s, and the total is 49. So I'm not thinking outside the box here, guys, with Puka Nacua. And in fact, the number has come down. I sent it in at 111.5. It's 109.5 right now. And really, it's like, oh, you really want to lay that type of number? Well, do you want to not lay this type of number and wait for the end game and go, oh man, I really should have taken Nacua over yards when the guy's at 172 yards? He's been a straight-out monster, man. With Devontae Adams out. Last game, he had 225. The week before, 181. The week before that, 167.5. And in fact, you're getting 108.5 right now. You get an even better number, 108.5 for Puka Nacua receiving yards. He's a one-man wrecking crew. He literally. And what's crazy about him is they're throwing it to him, and you still can't stop it. I'd rather go with the yards than the receptions. The receptions is 8.5 tonight. All right, so he probably does get 9 to 13 catches because that's what this guy does. But I'd rather approach it from a yardage perspective. So let's go over the 108.5. And speaking of overs and not overthinking things, we've done a couple of these Falcon games in prime time this year, and it's the same thing every time. We're chasing in-game numbers with Robinson because we're like, oh, my God, look at all the numbers this guy has already put up. And he's on a mission right now as well. So, and his numbers come down, too. It's 119.5 right now. So Robinson is total rush and receiving yards, 119.5. And some of these running backs, guys, the rush and receiving yards is kind of a scam because they don't catch a lot of passes, right? So you're better off just going like a Derrick Henry, you're better off just saying, no, I'm just going to go with the rush yards. I don't want to mess with the rush and receiving yards. But Robinson, 30-40% of the damage that he does actually is through the air. And a lot of teams are stupid and don't get their star players the football. Atlanta does do a good job of just getting the ball into his hands. And so his prop is 119.5 right now. He's at 168 in the last game, 175 the week before that. He's been smoking hot down the stretch. And, he's also trying to win the NFL rushing title as well. And he has admitted that it matters to him, as they told a story yesterday about Saquon Barkley wishing him the best of luck to win the NFL rushing title. Let's bring in Scott Wetzel. Wetzel, I'm hoping that the Rams take this game seriously. They are, but it's one of those calm before the storm. All these teams in the NFL that are going to the playoffs don't really seem to care about their seed too much. So I hope the Rams show up, but I think it should be an entertaining game tonight. What do you got?
Yeah, I said that. I've been saying that for years, Gabe. The fans care more about this stuff than the players themselves. They care about them basically getting in. That's all they care about. So they're in.
Well, we're saying, hold on, Scott. We've got an audio issue with you, but as Scott was saying, it is true. Like, fans live and die with the standings. Fans live and die with making the playoffs, and fans, you're a fan of the team. A player that plays on the team is not a fan of the team. Like, he plays for the team. It's his job or her job, etc. Right? I think a good example is look at the Kansas City Chiefs. No Kansas City Chiefs players are all heartbroken that they're moving or anything like that, right? People get caught up in it and all that type of stuff. But I think coaches do, if they're smart, they know, right? Like, okay, this is not a good matchup for us. Yet the only thing is you're motivating the other team because the other team knows this. So, like, case in point, like the New England Patriots now, the Patriots know that the Chargers are willing to lose their football game and have to go to Foxborough, right? You can't tell me that's not a motivating factor for the New England Patriots now. Not that you need any motivation to be playing in an NFL playoff game, but even more so when you know, oh, yeah, that team, like, they tanked last week, not worried that they would have to play us, right? Like, if the Chargers win, they don't go to Foxborough, right? Right? It's like one of those type of deals, but they clearly are like, all right, you know what? We'll rest. And Herbert is pretty beat up right now, but it goes to show, right, if you're the New England Patriots, you see this and you notice this as well. As a Buffalo Bill fan, I don't want to play the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I think the Chargers and Harbaugh is going to outslick us, basically, in which the Bills are going to end up the ones with the Jacksonville Jags, who are smoking hot right now. Right, it's all subjective, but to me, from a Bill perspective, the two teams that I don't want to play, the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Houston Texans. I'm not worried, the Patriots, the Steelers, the Ravens, like even the Broncos, I think the Bills could deal with, even in Denver. But the Houston Texans will beat the Buffalo Bills, and I'm not sure the Bills can beat the Jags in Jacksonville.
Let's play a little buy or sell. I think it's pretty evident that despite being one of the best tight ends in the history of the NFL, Travis Kelce's play and physicality and everything, with all due respect, took a big step back. This was easily his worst physical season of all. He just didn't look like himself. Travis Kelce will retire after the season. Buy or sell?
Yeah, I'm probably 60-40 on this that he retires. The only thing I'd say that maybe he returns is because he doesn't want to end the way it ended, not making the playoffs and that sort of thing. But let's just say for Gabriel, at Mahomes, he isn't going to be ready for September or October. And unless they get a really good veteran quarterback, maybe he doesn't want to deal with that either. Go through a training camp, and he may not make the playoffs either next year. So I'm probably 60-40. I think he's done. Too bad. Hall of Fame career. I guess good luck with Travis Swift and your podcast with Jason.
I'm buying this. Andy Reid addressing this question this week. Why? He could have just deferred and said, I don't know, we'll see. Fully answered the question about this maybe being his last game. What does that tell you? He knows. Everybody knows. I'm not 60-40, 90-10. I'm on buy. Bo Nix versus Caleb Williams. You'd rather have Nix over Caleb Williams in a dynasty league.
That's a tough one. I think I'm going to go Caleb here, mainly because he has more running ability than Nix. I think he'll also stay healthier than Nix. I might like his receivers more as well. He's got Dunze, he's got you got DJ Moore, you got the good tight ends here. Probably do lean towards Williams here. Not by a hell of a lot. It wouldn't be an easiest choice here, but I'm going to go with Caleb Williams here.
I would agree. It's not that I think that Ben Johnson is a better coach than Sean Payton. I think Ben Johnson is better for Caleb Williams than Sean Payton will be for Bo Nix. I think running is going to be a big part of what Denver does in the future. So there you go. I'll sell.
Fantasy Sports Today. Friday, starting at 3 p.m. Only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back. It is In-Game Live Game Day on this marvelous Monday evening. Scott Wetzel, Gabriel Morency for the next three and a half hours or so. So you got Gabe's opening pickoff. Let me throw you mine real quickly. I like the over in the game, over 49.5. Anyone has, the energy to play offense. You don't necessarily have the energy to play defense. I think we get some points. Going to use them in a teaser as well. I don't trust the Rams, Gabe, laying over a touchdown. So let me drop them down to -1.5. Drop the over-under down to -43.5. Although I see it is at 49. 48.5, so you probably get a little bit better number at 42.5, but for my purposes, I'll say 43.5. Rushing yards over Kyron Williams for the Rams, over 66.5 yards or so. You might get 65. And then over 63.5 yards receiving, Drake London. That was 66.5. It dropped down, but it's going to be in that area. I got it at a better number, maybe at 63.5. So I like the over in the game. I'm going to use the Rams in the teaser with the over. Williams over rushing and over Drake London receiving for the Atlanta Falcons. I think we get some points. You're right. You got to worry about the Rams and their motivation. You were talking about, as I mentioned it, fans care about this stuff. We're fans, we analyze this stuff over and under all day long. Who you going to match up? Who's your first round? Who's your second round matchup? It's better to do that. I don't necessarily know if the players, I don't think they go out there and think that we're going to lose by any stretch, but do they have that extra motivation? You're not getting Devontae Adams. They were saying in the pregame show that he really is healthy enough to play. I understand why he's not, but you just wonder about the mentality of the Rams tonight.
Most teams as well actually want the tougher matchup, believe it or not. Like basically, they want to play the team that people like the Bills always like, no, we want the Chiefs, right? Like as a Bills fans are like, no, we don't want to play the Chiefs, right? But the Bills players are like, nah, we can beat them. We've lost to them before. Real competitors don't really want to dodge teams. And I don't think that Harbaugh is dodging the Jags or he's dodging teams, but I think the teams just care more nowadays, Scott, about being healthy going into the playoffs, right? More so than, whatever, dude. Either way, we're going on the road, or either way, what difference does it make? They're all good teams. And I'd rather have Herbert rested for 2 weeks playing against whoever the hell we play. So I understand that, right? And it makes me wonder if you're the Buffalo Bills, what are we playing Josh Allen for next week, right? Against the New York Jets, right? But load management, and I'll tell you what, it's only going to get worse, Scott, when you add 18 games to the season. Just point blank. Because you add 18 games, there's going to be like a division in the NFL, 18 games, where it's like, oh, yeah, it's wrapped up with 5 weeks left. Right? Yeah, it's already clinched. And then you're going to have a team in purgatory for a month. And they're going to say, we can't play our guys, but we can't sit them. It's going to be a unique situation moving forward. I'm used to it because of the CFL. And trust me, the season's way too long as it is. 20 weeks is ridiculously long. 18 games, 2 bye weeks. The regular season games lose their value, Scott. The season takes forever. People get hurt inevitably. You can't go 18 regular season games without getting hurt. Just point blank. You're going to get hurt. Think of it if you're like a college player. It's nearly like 2 seasons in one for you. Like rookies, you know what I mean? Suddenly you're playing 18, 20 games and all that. Preseason, playoffs, 23, 24 games. Players, you think it's bad now with injuries? Just wait till you have an extended schedule.
Yeah. It's amazing. If they don't take this one seriously, right, then they're not going to take next week's game seriously. We know Sean McVay is one of the least interested preseason head coaches, right? His record is horrendous in the preseason. They would be going, though, into the playoffs game with a 3-game losing streak. They lost to Seattle last week. They would be losing this week if they really, don't care. And then we'll say they completely tank and sit everybody next week. Now you're heading into the postseason at a 3-game losing streak, which crazily enough would still, at this point anyway, they're still the odds-on favorite to win the season. They're not winning the division. And yet they're still, they're odds-on favorite to win with the boys in Vegas. So...
It's a weird year in the NFL. Tampa have lost 7 of their last 8 games, and they're playing for the division title next week.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's one of those years this year. You know what, though? I think the Rams, tonight is the night that they want to wrap up things tightly. Yeah. I think tonight, you got everybody playing. I know we saw that, Devontae could play, but he's not, et cetera. Fine. I think they have an edge to them tonight, and they want to wrap it up, and then next week will be they'll roll over. I think next week, that'll be the rollover game. But I think they want to, because like you said, you don't want to be going to the playoffs, Scott, losing 3 games in a row.
Yeah.
But just point blank. You need that confidence, the momentum, and right. You just can't. You need to wrap up with you need to wrap up with a win.
And they win the next 2. They're the number 5 seed. And normally 5, 6, 7, whatever game. But this year, if you're the 5 seed, you're getting the NFC South champ. And there is a big drop down from
you actually
Carolina,
want that.
or Tampa Bay, right, versus Philadelphia, Chicago, San Fran, Seattle.
Look at all the other tough teams you got to play.
Down. Yeah,
that's why if you're Seattle, If you're Seattle, it's like, all right, we lose. Like, if you're Seattle, you're kind of playing with house money this week, Scott. Right? Like, if you're the Seattle Seahawks, because you could say, listen, if we win the game, we're the 1 seed in the NFC. If we lose the game, we have to play a Carolina Panther team that we just beat, or a Tampa Bay Buccaneer team who maybe will win this week. They probably do. I think Carolina probably blew their shot, right? They could have locked it up, and they didn't. I think Tampa will probably find a way to win. But I think that whoever plays them is going to beat them. Like, I think teams like want that spot, Scott. In the same way, I think teams sort of wanted, like, they wouldn't mind playing the Steelers per se, right? But, dude, the NFC is wide open, man. There's a lot of good teams in the NFC.
Yeah. Really, both leagues are. I don't know if there's necessarily circle a team in the AFC either.
Oh, yeah.
Both, I really thought Buffalo was going to win. Yes, I really thought
playoffs ever.
Yeah, in a long time.
Yeah, but if you're Buffalo, other than, like, bets, it didn't really matter. You weren't winning a division, right? Like, what does it matter, Scott?
It was Philadelphia, though. It didn't, but Philadelphia wasn't playing for anything. At least their defense played well, Buffalo. I'm not really worried about their offense. It was more the defense, but at least you got that, a good game out of them defensively.
Yeah, I think if you're right, you could say, you know what, at least we know, all right, no, we can't stop Saquon Barkley. No, we can't. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not, because even I was worried about that. The offensive, my deal is, it's like, all right, guys, that's it. That's your last screw up. There's nobody, you can't lose anymore, right? For whatever this Jet game this week is the last game in Buffalo, they'll win just for the sentimental sake of it, Scott. They're not losing the last game in the stadium. Although it would be fitting if they did.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. Sad but true, right? Back to the board in a second.
Let's play a little buy or sell. I think it's pretty evident that despite being one of the best tight ends in the history of the NFL, Travis Kelce's play and physicality and everything, with all due respect, took a big step back. This was easily his worst physical season of all. He just didn't look like himself. Travis Kelce will retire after the season. Buy or sell?
Yeah, I'm probably 60-40 on this that he retires. The only thing I'd say that maybe he returns is because he doesn't want to end the way it ended, not making the playoffs and that sort of thing. But let's just say for Gabriel, at Mahomes, he isn't going to be ready for September or October, unless they get a really good veteran quarterback. Maybe he doesn't want to deal with that either. Go through a training camp, and he may not make the playoffs either next year. So I'm probably 60-40. I think he's done. Too bad. Hall of Fame career. I guess good luck with Travis Swift and your podcast with Jason.
I'm buying this. Andy Reid addressing this question this week. Why? He could have just deferred and said, I don't know, we'll see. Fully answered the question about this maybe being his last game. What does that tell you? He knows. Everybody knows. I'm not 60-40, 90-10. I'm on buy. Bo Nix versus Caleb Williams. You'd rather have Nix over Caleb Williams in a dynasty league.
That's a tough one. I think I'm going to go Caleb here, mainly because he has more running ability than Nix. I think he'll also stay healthier than Nix. I might like his receivers more as well. He's got Dunze, he's got you got DJ Moore, you got the good tight ends here. Probably do lean towards Williams here. Not by a hell of a lot. It wouldn't be an easiest choice here, but I'm going to go with Caleb Williams here.
I would agree. It's not that I think that Ben Johnson is a better coach than Sean Payton. I think Ben Johnson is better for Caleb Williams than Sean Payton will be for Bo Nix. I think running is going to be a big part of what Denver does in the future. So there you go. I'll sell.
Fantasy Sports Today. Friday, starting at 3 p.m. Only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid, just underway on a marvelous Monday evening. So Falcons get the ball first. They go, I don't know if it was 3 and out, but they punted. Rams now have the football deep inside their own territories. We have opening possessions of our Monday night game. So no score, nothing really obviously has changed.
They punted on 4th and 1.
No, they just punted. Yep.
Yeah, McVay wussed out. Should have just went for it. Screw it. Let's go for it, coach. Right? Like, this game, just go for it.
as much as we get on these coaches, it would be nice for these coaches just to say, what the fudge? Let's just have some fun. Who cares? It's what's going to happen if we lose? Let's entertain.
Well,
let's
they did last night. The Bears and Niners, both of them were like, whatever, dude. Just throw the ball. Throw the ball. Throw the ball.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, all right, great game. But like I said, precursor to the playoffs, as we were stating like in the last segment, Scott, it really is wide open. Like, and I know, look, I've been to a lot of these Super Bowls on Media Row and stuff over the years, and it's been the same teams all the time. Like, literally. Like, you know how many times? All right, so Tom Brady, this is his 8th Super Bowl. What do you think about, like, Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs have been in every damn one of these, man. Like, it's the same teams all the time. This year, like, and in the past, you kind of know. You know what I mean? It's like, it's going to be the Chiefs or it's going to be this team. Like, there's always sort of the powerhouse. It wasn't a shock. It was the Eagles last year. Same teams, Eagles, Chiefs, past couple of years. They played twice in the Super Bowl, San Francisco, etc. You can make a legitimate argument for literally, I don't know, at least 6 to 8 teams, Scott. I'm not going to say all 12 teams in the playoffs, but a lot of them. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of them.
The only one in the AF, I don't know if there is really one in the AFC. I don't think Pittsburgh really has.
Pittsburgh or Baltimore wouldn't win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I don't think they would get there.
Derrick Henry, though, whatever, dude. Like, you give him the ball, like, if he rushes for 200 yards a game, Scott, I'm just stating. I don't know how you feel, but I think I tweeted this out earlier. I wouldn't want Lamar back this week if I was Baltimore. Dude, like, he hasn't played because he's not that good. Like, I'm just going to call it up what it is. Like, he's lost a step, like his mobility. He's not a great, I know, like, you don't have a choice. There's a lot of people who think, like, Baltimore want to cut ties with Lamar anyways and move forward. I'm just stating, the guy hasn't played, so he's going to come back. He's going to be cold. He's going to get hurt during the game, and Huntley's going to have to come back in. I'm calling it right now. This is what's going to end up happening. I just think it's fine. You got Huntley here. He doesn't turn the ball over. Just hand the freaking football off to Henry and stay out of the way type of deal. But everybody thinks Baltimore's going to beat Pittsburgh no matter who the quarterback is, evidently.
Yeah, I don't know about that. They just lost to them at home. Yeah, you want to really go rumor like fantasy? He's from the Miami area. Lamar, there's always been talk about the Dolphins being interested in him. You got John Harbaugh, who surprisingly enough, might be on the outside looking in, head coaching wise with Baltimore. Although I don't think they'll really fire him, but he's been asked about it. So there's
anger at both of them. They're like a combo. There's anger at both of them, right? There's the thought that Lamar is soft, right? That he's always hurt. He's soft. He doesn't win in the playoffs. And then there's the Harbaugh that he's lost a step. He's not as interested. He doesn't have the same passion that he used to about it.
Yeah. I watched those Raven games. I'm not a big Harbaugh fan. Jim, yes, but John, I watched so many of those games, and man, he makes so many strategic mistakes, and I'm not a big fan of his. But if you want to go fantasy, that would be the way. He's got talent.
Harbaugh has gotten very modern. Like, he's changed over the years, like, but not for the best. Like you said, like, he does a lot of weird things in games, Harbaugh. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which he's very unlike his brother, who plays it very close to the vest. John used to play it very close to the vest, right? Run the ball. Like, he played Raider ball. Like, remember when the Ravens won the championship with Flacco? It was pretty much like simple football. We run the ball, we play defense, and we throw bombs. Right? Like, that was like, we'll throw a bomb, sort of old school Raiders. Run the ball, throw a bomb to Torrey Smith down the field, and, like, run the ball type of thing. He's more all over the place. Like, he asked the players, what do you guys think? Should we go for 2? And they always say yes. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he's been weird for the last couple of years. You can't dispute it.
Yeah. His players do weird things. Things like, I've seen plays where they need to run 4 seconds off the clock on a punt to get it down to the 2-minute warning, and the player calls a fair catch. And it's like, what are you doing? You got to tell the guy.
It's a lot like Tomlin.
A lot of things like that. Like,
when you're the same guy in a team for a long time, you lose your edge a little bit. People don't, they know what you're going to say. They know your act.
But we're coming up in Game Live.
let's play a little buy or sell. I think it's pretty evident that despite being one of the best tight ends in the history of the NFL, Travis Kelce's play and physicality and everything, with all due respect, took a big step back. This was easily his worst physical season of all. He just didn't look like himself. Travis Kelce will retire after the season. Buy or sell?
Yeah, I'm probably 60-40 on this that he retires. The only thing I'd say that maybe he returns is because he doesn't want to end the way it ended, not making the playoffs and that sort of thing. But let's just say for Gabriel and Mahomes, he isn't going to be ready for September or October. Unless they get a really good veteran quarterback, maybe he doesn't want to deal with that either. Go through a training camp and you may not make the playoffs either next year. So I'm probably 60-40. I think he's done. Too bad. Hall of Fame career. I guess good luck with Travis Swift and your podcast with Jason.
I'm buying this. Andy Reid addressing this question this week. Why? He could have just deferred and said, I don't know, we'll see. Fully answered the question about this maybe being his last game. What does that tell you? He knows. Everybody knows. I'm not 60-40, 90-10. I'm on buy. Bo Nix versus Caleb Williams. You'd rather have Nix over Caleb Williams in a dynasty league.
That's a tough one. I think I'm going to go Caleb here, mainly because he has more running ability than Nix. I think he'll stay healthier than Nix. I might like his receivers more as well. Yeah, he's got Dunze. He's got you got DJ Moore. You got the good tight ends here. Probably do lean towards Williams here. Not by a hell of a lot. It wouldn't be an easiest choice here, but I'm going to go with Caleb Williams here.
I would agree. It's not that I think that Ben Johnson is a better coach than Sean Payton. I think Ben Johnson is better for Caleb Williams than Sean Payton will be for Bo Nix. I think running is going to be a big part of what Denver does in the future. So there you go. I'll sell.
Fantasy Sports Today. Friday starting at 3 p.m. Only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe, hour number one. We got a little Monday Night Football, a little college basketball, a little NBA, and some hockey as well. In fact, a full slate. Normally Mondays they kind of clear the slate for the NBA, but for the
a lot
the
of late
NFL,
games
the
tonight.
NBA, yeah, a lot of good hockey games. Colorado's on the schedule. I do like them a little bit later on. I mean, how can't you? 21-3 their last 24 games. Man, they've been on such a roll. So, a couple things. Falcons do have a second and goal now from the LA 2-yard line. So, I wonder when, everyone wants to anoint this. Yeah, everyone wants to anoint this Rams team, right? And I get it. I have a ticket on them at 20-1 for the beginning of the year, so I see it. But I wonder, if they lose again tonight, and I think they are trying. I just wonder when it's going to flip. It's kind of like we were talking about. I don't know who the boys in Vegas want. Like, it's so wide open that, would Philadelphia become the favorite? Will it go back to the Eagles? Same thing on the AFC side. There's not that one team, so it's almost the Rams by default. But if they keep on losing these games, I don't know how they could continue to be. And again, it's far away from them losing tonight.
I'll just say one thing, Scott. The boys in Vegas are irrelevant. The biggest sports book in America is FanDuel, and they're not even in Nevada. Number one. Number two, the second biggest sports book in America is DraftKings, and they're not in America. And it'll blow people's minds, but FanDuel is actually an Irish company. Like, they get their numbers are being made in Europe and stuff. Right? Like, Vegas is copy and pasting. Like, Las Vegas mattered, Scott, in the 60s, the 70s. You know what I mean? Gambling's legal everywhere now. Like, Nevada's not even the biggest betting state, right? Like, these other states just crush Nevada now and stuff. But I hear what you're saying. So there's the touchdown, and there's Bijan Robinson with the touchdown, as we told you guys. I can't believe he was only minus 130 to score a touchdown, Scott.
Yeah.
Like, for a guy that's just sort of like Mr. Automatic to score, like him and Christian McCaffrey. But I think, you know what? I think the books are liable with the Bears. Because Bear fans, they're a popular team, Scott, the Bears, right? Like, they, a lot of Bear fans, big market, etc. Ben Johnson hype, right? And the Bears had a big number before the year started. Right, good number you got on the Rams as well. I think they're liable with the Rams. I don't think they want the Rams winning. The Rams are another big public team. I don't think they want the Bills to win, right? But there's so many of these weird teams. Like, I don't know, Scott. Like, honestly, if you ask me right now, like if you said, all right, dude, you gotta pick a Super Bowl right now, my Super Bowl will probably surprise you and a lot of people. San Francisco versus the Houston Texans.
Ooh.
Why not?
I would,
at this stage, like, why not? They have as good a chance as anyone else.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, that Houston defense. Two things.
You trust Seattle and Darnold? Can you believe they're road favorites in San Francisco? I can't believe that.
No. Yeah. And that's the other thing. You know, if you get the number 5 seed, you're going to get an easy target in Tampa Bay or Carolina. And don't forget the Rams lost to Carolina, so they would really be like chomping at the bit to get back at the Panthers. And then you get a Seattle team with as the number 1 seed, maybe, as your next opponent with Sam Darnold. I think I would take that over Chicago, Philadelphia, pick another team in the NFC. So I
don't think San Francisco are scared of anybody. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
They're not, and they're a team. They're not scared of the Rams either.
Yeah.
Right. Like, so Shanahan isn't like, oh no, we got to play the Rams. But I'm with you. People have sort of anointed the Rams. The Rams look like the best team in football like 5 weeks ago. Yeah. Whatever. That was mid-November. You know what I mean? Now we're going into January. Like they're not invincible. They're not like much better than everybody else. They're good. They're really good. They have a shot at winning. But are they better than San Francisco? Right. I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, hell, look at Chicago. Chicago are not going to be an easy team to deal with. Like, they've shown they can score. Like, so it's like, you know what? You play the Bears. You better be able to keep up, Scott, because they're going to put points up on the board.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, the Bears, for me anyway, I'm not speaking for anyone else, the Bears, for me, did more in losing last night as far as my impression of them than they could have done in winning elsewhere. I mean, they're coming after a Packer game, which they never play well after a Green Bay game. They won that game, emotional game, the big comeback, right? That was a classic letdown spot. They're not getting the number 1 seed, and they went toe-to-toe with San Francisco. I mean, and Caleb Williams looked good.
No excuses, because whatever, Kittle didn't play for San Francisco, but the Bears had a serious illness on the team. They were without a lot of guys last night, and they still hung.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? They still hung, right? Yeah. Like they were short at wide receiver. Zacchaeus didn't play. No Roman Dunze.
Yeah.
They were down
out.
defensive backs. They were missing 3 defensive backs last night. Like, their defense is better than it showed last night. Like, they're a dangerous-ass team. The Bears. Yeah. Very dangerous. Like I said, like, this thing's wide open. You can make an argument. You can make a legitimate argument for anybody. As it is right now, if the bracket as it is now, and let's just sort of exchange Seattle and San Francisco, right, for the 1 and 5. So you can say, all right, either Seattle or San Francisco is going to be the 5, and either Tampa or Carolina is going to be the 4. So it's sort of set in stone, kind of. The Packers at the Bears. All the Packer injuries that they have, the Bears will beat them. Packers have too many injuries. Yeah. Rams at Eagles, Scott. Opening round game. Dear God. That's a heavyweight matchup in the opening round game.
Yeah. Which is another reason why the Rams should be taking tonight seriously, right? But, I still think it's going to be the Eagles game. When everything is said and done, if I was a betting man, I had to choose one, it would be Philadelphia. Let me see them actually lose a big-time game. They could. I'm not saying they're invincible by any stretch, but I have more faith. There's flaws with all these teams. Right? No matter who comes through,
they're have to go. Scott, I'm with you. Would Philadelphia, if Philadelphia went into Seattle in the NFC Conference Championship game, it'd be hard not to say, Philadelphia is going to find a way to win this game.
Yeah.
Philadelphia going to San Francisco in the NFC Conference Championship game, I think the Niners could beat them.
Yeah, a little different there. Pedigree's there for San Fran. I think that would beat Philly. I think they would beat Chicago. I think they would beat Seattle, as you mentioned. Rams would be tough. They went toe-to-toe with them last year. That would be a good one.
They're all evenly matched. I'd say the weakest teams will be the Packers and the Panthers/Bucks, just because all the injuries that the Packers have. And the Bucks/Panthers, just whatever, right? They're the JMU Tulane of the NFL playoffs. Yeah. I mean, you're allowed in, you're getting in, you get a game, like, you know what I mean, and prove us wrong, like, type of deal.
Yeah. But in the AFC, it's right.
Oh, the AFC's wild.
they all have hurdles, right? Is Bo Nix really that good year number 2? Are the Patriots really going from last place, complete bottom, to the Super Bowl? Is Jacksonville, good little story, but Houston's offense is limited. Chargers' offense is really limited.
I don't think Houston's offense is that limited. I think, C.J. Stroud didn't play a lot. He's gotten a lot better. Nico Collins is healthy. You look at the Houston Texans, Scott, this offense, they didn't look limited to me against the Chargers on Saturday.
I'll tell you what, I don't doubt that Phillip Rivers doesn't play this week against Houston. If that Houston defense takes things seriously, they'll kill the poor guy, right? He was talking after the game yesterday about this is kind of it for him, but I would not be surprised if with that Texans defense, which would destroy him. They're going to be good semifinal games. I want to see Denver go up against Houston or New England go up against Houston. Jacksonville got a little lucky, fortunate yesterday, but, they're on fire. Bills, it's going to be,
Houston,
really, it's not a bad group in a bunch. There really isn't.
As it is now, Houston would be at Pittsburgh, which I think their defense would just terrorize the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers, yeah.
Right, but you know what? That could be Baltimore, though, because like I said, it's Pittsburgh right now. All right, it's Pittsburgh right now. They don't have DK Metcalf, and it really seems to be hurting the offense without DK Metcalf. So, but you got the Houston Texans.
I think teams would rather prefer to play Pittsburgh, versus Baltimore. I
think people want Pittsburgh, but I don't.
Yeah.
But does it happen? It's another story.
We come back.
Let's play a little buy or sell. I think it's pretty evident that despite being one of the best tight ends in the history of the NFL, Travis Kelce's play and physicality and everything, with all due respect, took a big step back. This was easily his worst physical season of all. He just didn't look like himself. Travis Kelce will retire after the season. Buy or sell?
Yeah, I'm probably 60-40 on this that he retires. The only thing I'd say that maybe he returns is because he doesn't want to end the way it ended, not making the playoffs and that sort of thing. But let's just say for Gabriel and Mahomes, he isn't going to be ready for September or October. And unless they get a really good veteran quarterback, maybe he doesn't want to deal with that either. Go through a training camp, and he may not make the playoffs either next year. So I'm probably 60-40. I think he's done. Too bad. Hall of Fame career. I guess good luck with Travis Swift and your podcast with Jason.
I'm buying this. Andy Reid addressing this question this week. Why? He could have just deferred and said, I don't know, we'll see. Fully answered the question about this maybe being his last game. What does that tell you? He knows. Everybody knows. I'm not 60-40, 90-10. I'm on buy. Bo Nix versus Caleb Williams. You'd rather have Nix over Caleb Williams in a dynasty league.
That's a tough one. I think I'm going to go Caleb here, mainly because he has more running ability than Nix. I think he'll also stay healthier than Nix. I might like his receivers more as well. He's got a Dunze. He's got you got DJ Moore. You got the good tight ends here. Probably do lean towards Williams here. Not by a hell of a lot. It wouldn't be an easiest choice here, but I'm going to go with Caleb Williams here.
I would agree. It's not that I think that Ben Johnson is a better coach than Sean Payton. I think Ben Johnson is better for Caleb Williams than Sean Payton will be for Bo Nix. I think running is going to be a big part of what Denver does in the future. So there you go. I'll sell.
Fantasy Sports Today. Friday starting at 3 p.m. Only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Quick check. Rams have it 2nd and 5 from the Atlanta 15-yard line or so. Down 7-0, laying 4.5, over under 50.5. And Gabe and I were talking in the break. Some college basketball, Gabe. There was a classic, bet the underdog and over for me tonight. New Haven. My kids went to school there. My one daughter there now. They were getting 40 at Vandy. They were 40 and over under was 144. So all New Haven had to do was score 52 points, and you guaranteed yourself a split. They ended up scoring that. You got the split. They lost by 43. But the game went over, so you got the split. But that was one of those classic underdog and overs. Just reach your number. They lost 96-53. So
those Ken Palm
that would have been
rankings.
nice double. Yeah,
Those Ken Palm rankings will get you every time. Because that's basically what the odds on Boys in Vegas. They're setting numbers off the Ken Palm rankings, essentially. And, I guarantee you that it'll be like, look, the rankings were 45. Tonight, though, the odds makers, I'm really surprised. I was surprised by this, Scott, because Michigan were favored by like 18.5 against Villanova, right? And they were favored by 40.5 against LaSalle. So this is the last cupcake game for Michigan, right? Conference play starts for Michigan, so this is it. They're playing McNeese State tonight. Except McNeese State are 10-2, and I saw a lot of people hyping them up, like, oh yeah, like McNeese State. Let's see, what they could do against Michigan. Well, they're not doing very well against Michigan. It's 90-40 right now, so they're down by 50. But the odds makers only made it 23. Dude, the team total. Wow. What? The Rams just get stopped. They just went for it and got stopped. Wow. Falcons are all fired up, Scott.
Wow. There's just something about this Rams team. We're expecting them to be like the greatest thing, and
they lose close games a lot. If you notice,
yeah.
And also, if you'll notice too, I don't know if you noticed this. We talked about Harbaugh. McVay's not the genius that people say he is.
No,
like
I never
he's
bought
not
into that.
No, but I did, and no, I think I love him. I think he's one of the best coaches in the league, Scott. But he's not a great in-game coach.
Yeah.
Like. What he never takes three early in a game. Like he always gives momentum to the other team. The Rams are always playing from behind because of that. Right? Just take the damn three. Like he's allergic to it. It's like, no. Like, bro, you're playing the Falcons. It's your first drive of the game. Just take the 3 points, man. Like instead, you got the crowd all fired up now. The Falcons are all fired up. The players are all fired up. He does it all the time. Like, or he's one of these too, Scott. He'll go for two in advance, or like he does weird things. Like, you know what I mean? Like he ain't no genius, like in game. And in fact, if you remember, he got his ass handed to him by Belichick in the Super Bowl when his team only scored 3 points, and everybody blamed Jared Goff. It's like, yeah, well, McVay never adjusted, right? They threw a zone at him, and Belichick knew. I bet you if we throw this at them, they've never seen this before, and they won't adjust, and they didn't. And the whole game, McVay never had an answer for Goff, and then they blamed Goff for it. But they never told Goff, oh, yeah, we got to change the plays. No, right? Like, like I said, he's not imperfect, Scott. Like, people, like you said earlier, people like to anoint the Rams as, like, the beauty pageant queen of the NFL. But she's got warts. If you actually, look, it's like they're not as perfect as everyone makes them out to be.
Yeah.
Williams fumbles a lot.
Yeah. And for the umpteenth time, there was a game he apologized after. I'm looking at their schedule. I forget which one it was. That he apologized because they had 4th and 1, and instead of kicking the tying field goal, they went for it, and it just ran a simple off-tackle play. And everyone's like, Jesus, what the hell is that, right? And he apologized, but it was a bad play call, blah, blah, blah. He's done that so many times. And right here again, 4th and 1.
That was a terrible play call here.
Off-tackle play. I mean, to come up with something.
I got so mad as a Bills fan yesterday watching them lose. Like, how the hell didn't you just run Allen again on the 2-point conversion if you're going to do this?
Yeah, I said that.
Game I was like, this isn't rocket science. Just have them fall forward again, you stupid idiot. It's like, oh, no. And I got even madder watching last night, Scott, with the with the Bears on the goal line. Yeah, I was like, all right, 4th and goal. What are they going to do? They pitched it to Swift. He ran into the corner easily. I was like, it's really not that hard, guys. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It was Monagai another time. Like, kid just took off to it. I was like, Scott, they have James Cook running up the middle if you're the Buffalo Bills. You're telling me that if you pitch to Cook, he can't get to the corner from the 1 yard line and beat the guys to the edge? Of course he can. But no, they have him trying to run up the middle like, dude, the same thing. Joe Brady's another one. Oh, Joe Brady's a hot coaching candidate. You can have him. Take him. Take him.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, I'd rather some drunk fan and Bills Mafia call the plays. This guy's an idiot.
Yeah. All you need to do, Gabe, I said this on the pod, you stick 2 receivers way to the right, you stick 2 receivers way to the left, so they got to be covered, right? So there's at least 4, if not 5 defensive backs or defensive players anyway that are no longer into play. You got 7 guys against your 7, and that's when you do
they
the
always
push.
just bunch everybody up. They're
I
like,
know,
oh,
it doesn't
let's be
make any
predictable.
sense.
And then let's go on the
do that.
shotgun.
Spread it out.
And then we're going to bunch up and then go on the shotgun and then try to turn a 2-yard play into a 7-yard play. It's incredibly frustrating. They all overthink things. Just point blank. They all overthink things.
I've said it a million times. It's simple arithmetic, offensive coordinators. It's 11 against your 9. So you cannot emphasize their 11.
It's ego with them, though. It's ego.
It's
like people don't like the Eagles stuff, right? Because it's, that's not football and whatever.
Right.
It's like, yeah, whatever, it works. So they're scoring on it.
You just scored a touchdown on it. You just scored a touchdown on it from a yard and a half out. Why wouldn't you just do the same thing? And he went like 3 yards deep into the end zone.
I asked Kyle Turley this about that. He was an offensive lineman, and I said, what do you do? Like, how frustrating is it, like, when you're on the goal line and they call some stupid pass play and you're on, like, the 1-yard line? And he goes, oh, man, it's frustrating. And I said, like, what happens in the huddle? And he goes, we all rip the OC in the huddle. Like, he's sort of like, I said, so what happens? And he goes, they're a bunch of effing. It's like, so the players will be like, this is stupid. Like, the players, Scott, no. You think the linemen are like, oh, yeah, let's throw the ball here. They're like, no. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? This is dumb. Yeah, and I said, then why do they do it, Kyle? Why do these OCs do it? He goes, Gabe, because they make a lot of money. And he goes, if they just hand it off to the fullback and he falls into the end zone, the people are going to say, what are we paying the OC $2 million a year for? Pretty crazy. It's their ego. Just hand it off to a damn fullback or like a tight end or something. Plow it in.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Falcons ball. Up 7.
Let's play a little buy or sell. I think it's pretty evident that despite being one of the best tight ends in the history of the NFL, Travis Kelce's play and physicality and everything, with all due respect, took a big step back. This was easily his worst physical season of all. He just didn't look like himself. Travis Kelce will retire after the season. Buy or sell?
Yeah, I'm probably 60-40 on this that he retires. The only thing I'd say that maybe he returns is because he doesn't want to end the way it ended, not making the playoffs and that sort of thing. But let's just say for Gabriel and Mahomes, he isn't going to be ready for September or October. And unless they get a really good veteran quarterback, maybe he doesn't want to deal with that either. Go through a training camp, and he may not make the playoffs either next year. So I'm probably 60-40. I think he's done. Too bad. Hall of Fame career. I guess good luck with Travis Swift and your podcast with Jason.
I'm buying this. Andy Reid addressing this question this week. Why? He could have just deferred and said, I don't know, we'll see. Fully answered the question about this hit maybe being his last game. What does that tell you? He knows. Everybody knows. I'm not 60-40, 90-10. I'm on buy. Bo Nix versus Caleb Williams. You'd rather have Nix over Caleb Williams in a dynasty league.
That's a tough one. I think I'm going to go Caleb here, mainly because he has more running ability than Nix. I think he'll also stay healthier than Nix. I might like his receivers more as well. He's got a Dunze. He's got you got DJ Moore. You got the good tight ends here. Probably do lean towards Williams here. Not by a hell of a lot. It wouldn't be an easiest choice here, but I'm going to go with Caleb Williams here.
I would agree. It's not that I think that Ben Johnson is a better coach than Sean Payton. I think Ben Johnson is better for Caleb Williams than Sean Payton will be for Bo Nix. I think running is going to be a big part of what Denver does in the future. So there you go. I'll sell.
Fantasy Sports Today. Friday, starting at 3 p.m. Only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back. In-game live, game day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe closing out hour number one. So, yep, Rams go for it, 4th and 1 from the Atlanta 1. They hand the ball 5 yards deep into the backfield. Why not? They get stopped, so now the Falcons have the ball. And who knows, Falcons have won 2 in a row. If, long ways to go with this one. But then they got New Orleans next week, winnable game at home. They could end the season on a 4-game win streak. They would be 5-2 their last 7 games. Are they keeping Raheem Morris around, with this little late stretch? You see it and hear that all
They're
the
like
time.
the
With
Dolphins of the
Dolphins.
NFC. Yeah, they're the Dolphins of the NFC. Yeah, exactly. So you're winning a bunch. Now it's like almost, Scott, you're like, wow, man, if we let Kyle Pitts go now, he's going to get good elsewhere, right? He's just starting to get good now. It's like one of these deals. They're going to have to bring, Penix is coming back next year. They're going to have to hope for the best with Penix. Yeah. Listen, I thought the Falcons were a playoff caliber team this year. I thought they'd be more 9-6 than 6-9, right? Their defense was the problem in past years. Their defense played pretty well this year, actually. The young draft picks were good. They've gotten better on defense, but the offense has been a problem for them. Penix was inconsistent. He gets injured all the time. And Kirk Cousins is playing well now because there's zero pressure on him, right? He's just dropping back and having fun, right? Whatever happens, happens. He's already gotten paid.
Yeah. And he's going to get paid for another year. What a contract they gave him, just crazy. So, but yeah, maybe they're saving his job. Penix Jr. no doubt will come back. They got to give him another year. If for no other reason, there's just not any other good quarterbacks out there. And where they'll be drafting, everyone will be gone who was worth anything. So it's like you might as well.
So the Saints are getting good quick. The Saints are getting good fast.
How about Tyler
right?
Shuck? Yeah.
Tyler Shuck
well.
could be the. He's the odds-on favorite to be the rookie of the year now, which I don't think a lot of people thought was going to happen before the year started.
Yeah,
he's a slight favorite right now over McMillan of the Carolina Panthers.
With Tyler Shuck playing, I had these numbers down. What are they? 5-2. They won 4 in a row. They're much better with him than they were with Spencer Rattler.
It puts them in a nice spot.
Maybe he wasn't ready.
It puts them in a nice spot, though, doesn't it? That they don't have to rush into a quarterback this year, right?
Right.
And we all know that Arch Manning would sort of be the perfect franchise savior of the Saints, right? The Mannings are royalty there. So if they can get Arch Manning, right, and you get Arch Manning with Kellen Moore, it would be a perfect fit, too. Kellen Moore's great with quarterbacks, but Shuck is playing so well, you're not drafting a quarterback this year in the draft, Scott. You don't have to.
No.
It's like, well, we got a young quarterback that's pretty good. Now let's stockpile some talent. So it really puts them in a very favorable situation, right? A lot of teams, whether the quarterback is good or not, the Raiders don't have a choice. They need to take Mendoza. How do they not?
Yeah.
How do you, if you're the Raiders, how do you not? What, you know what I mean? Unless there's another quarterback, who's the other quarterback? There ain't no other quarterback. Maybe Dante Moore, if Dante Moore came into the draft. Mendoza, I think Mendoza could be a better NFL quarterback than Moore, to be honest with you.
Yeah. The only one I would think would be if the Raiders were dumb enough to make a trade with either Arizona or the Dolphins for Kyler Murray and Tua. We'll take those guys, either one of those two, off your hands. But in exchange, you're giving us, 3 first-round draft choices. Would they be crazy enough to do that? That would be the only way that the Raiders just say we don't like.
They are the Raiders.
Let's go. So they are the Raiders. Yeah.
They are the Raiders. You can't really predict what they'll do. Yeah. I mean, they're the type of team, Scott. They'll draft another running back. I don't get another running back with Genty.
Yeah.
We really like this tight end.
Another tight end, the 2 tight end offense. We use that.
Or they'll be like, the Jeremiah Smith was just too good to pass up, the wide receiver type thing. Right? They'll be they'll go for some, who knows what, but I imagine they would just go with Mendoza. The question is, you got Pete Carroll there and stuff, but hey, this is one thing that leads into the college football playoffs that we were talking about fans caring and stuff. If we're being honest, the college football playoffs, a lot of stuff, there's a lot of NFL draft stock is really, really on the line this week. Yeah. Right? Carson Beck doesn't need to win the game, but if Carson Beck plays well, This is as big as it gets. So, like, if you're an NFL team, you're seeing Carson Beck against Ohio State's defense. You're seeing Mendoza against Alabama in the Rose Bowl under a high-pressure situation. Yeah, he's not racking it up now, like as a 30-point favorite against Purdue. All right, let's see him against top-tier competition now. It's a lot of people with a lot on the line this week in college football.
Yeah. Rams on the move again inside LA territory. We'll update it. We come back.
Let's play a little buy or sell. I think it's pretty evident that despite being one of the best tight ends in the history of the NFL, Travis Kelce's play and physicality and everything, with all due respect, took a big step back. This was easily his worst physical season of all. He just didn't look like himself. Travis Kelce will retire after the season. Buy or sell?
Yeah, I'm probably 60-40 on this that he retires. The only thing I'd say that maybe he returns is because he doesn't want to end the way it ended, not making the playoffs and that sort of thing. But let's just say for Gabriel and Mahomes, he isn't going to be ready for September or October, unless they get a really good veteran quarterback. Maybe he doesn't want to deal with that either. Go through a training camp, and he may not make the playoffs either next year. So I'm probably 60-40. I think he's done. Too bad. Hall of Fame career. I guess good luck with Travis Swift and your podcast with Jason.
I'm buying this. Andy Reid addressing this question this week. Why? He could have just deferred and said, I don't know, we'll see. Fully answered the question about this maybe being his last game. What does that tell you? He knows. Everybody knows. I'm not 60-40, 90-10. I'm on buy. Bo Nix versus Caleb Williams. You'd rather have Nix over Caleb Williams in a dynasty league.
That's a tough one. I think I'm going to go Caleb here, mainly because he has more running ability than Nix. I think he'll stay healthier than Nix. I might like his receivers more as well. He's got a Dunze. He's got you got DJ Moore. You got the good tight ends here. Probably do lean towards Williams here. Not by a hell of a lot. It wouldn't be an easiest choice here, but I'm going to go with Caleb Williams here.
I would agree. It's not that I think that Ben Johnson is a better coach than Sean Payton. I think Ben Johnson is better for Caleb Williams than Sean Payton will be for Bo Nix. I think running is going to be a big part of what Denver does in the future. So there you go. I'll sell.
Fantasy Sports Today. Friday starting at 3 p.m. Only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back. In-game live, game day, hour number 2 of our 3.5 hour extravaganza. Scott and Gabe checking out all the action, including some NFL, little hockey as well. We'll talk to our good buddy, SportsGrid host you see it here all the time on the grid, especially during the holidays, Mr. George Kurtz. What's going on, George? How are you this Monday evening? Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you too, Scott, and everybody else out there. I could certainly be better. I'm a fantasy player, so I've got 2 championship games going right now. And a 7-0 score in the second quarter is not what I wanted here. As I've got Bijan Robinson, Puka Nacua, and I'm in an IDP with Nate Landman too. I need scoring here as I'm trailing in 2 leagues here that I'm still going in here. So can we listen? Stafford, Nacua, remember him? The guy's got 150 yards in 3 straight games. Let's find him.
They're lethargic so far, the Rams. They're flat. Stafford's got 43 passing yards. As you mentioned, Puka Nacua, 1 catch, 10 yards. Like at one point, does it start clicking for them? Robinson's got 9 carries. Hard to believe, but he's got 9 carries and only 30 yards. So he's only averaging 3.3 a clip. But he does have 13 yards receiving, so he's got 43 total yards. Got to figure this game opens up at some point, Kurtz. It's up to the Rams to finish off a drive.
Yeah, people forget, the Falcons are still alive for a playoff spot. They went out and Tampa wins next week. They win the division. So, they're not dead yet. Close to it. And I didn't think they really had much of a chance tonight here. But I think you're right, Gabe. They are a little lethargic for the Rams. I think they'll play better as the game goes along here. And the fact that it's only 7-0, the Falcons really haven't taken advantage of it here. But we're not seeing that high-scoring or the high-flying Rams offense. Not yet.
No, I think the Falcons are limited. I think the Falcons are eliminated. If the Falcons win twice, then Carolina clinches no matter what happens next week against Tampa Bay. That's the scenario. But the Falcons are done. Not by a lot.
I think the Falcons would get in.
They are eliminated, the Falcons. Yeah, they are eliminated.
They're eliminated. Yeah. They could get to they could get to 8 and 9, but if Carolina wins, or even if Tampa Bay wins, they would lose that head-to-head tiebreaker against Tampa Bay. They would both be 8 and 9, but they would lose the head-to-head because they're listing them as being eliminated. I know I've read that if Atlanta were to win twice, then it would be a mumbo-jumbo tie again, but Carolina would then clinch over Tampa Bay. So even if they lost against Tampa Bay, they would still be winning the division. But the
Falcons, we said
Falcons
earlier, they've done enough to want to have to bring the coach back and Kyle Pitts back.
Yeah.
And it'll be like, well, we got to keep this team together. We were close. They kind of were too. Like I said earlier, I thought they were going to be better than they were. Carolina weren't supposed to be this good, and who in the world thought that the Saints guys are going to win 6 games this year?
I think I picked the Falcons to win the division here. And by the way, it looks like we're going to have a pick 6. So
you got to be kidding me.
Yeah, that was a terrible throw by Stafford. He airmailed somebody here, and
there it is.
Nothing Atlanta.
Wow. And man, this all goes back to that stupid 4th down, Scott, where the crowd, they just show the same crowd. A bunch of the fans in white, and they're all Christmased out and stuff. They're all fired up. Like, you got to break their will early, man. Like, now you got a whole stadium. Look at these people. Like, it's like a bowl atmosphere in there. What is every family member there or something? Why are they so happy?
You kick the field goal, you make 7-3, you kick the ball off, you're going to stop them 3 and out, you get the ball back anyway. It's like, you can't win a game in the first quarter.
This helps the over, though, guys, because I was getting a little concerned about that, right? It was fading away. It's up to 47.5 now against Scott. So at least it's sort of all right, this is almost the classic. Well, how do you not bet on Matt Stafford passing yards now?
Right.
Do they care?
Right.
Like, is he going to care?
Would they yank him? What do you think? Would they pull him, George? I mean, I don't think so, right?
I don't think so. He's not getting hit, so he's not like you're worried about him getting hurt. I don't think they'd pull him, no. I mean, what, are you not going to play next week?
I don't think they want to get routed. We talked about them backing into the playoffs, Scott. Like, this is pretty bad.
This is also weeks. I mean, you're going to have him not play for 3 weeks? And not play next week either. So I don't think.
I thought they wanted to play him tonight and sit him next week. I figured this would be the last game before the Rams shut everyone down.
That's what I would have thought as well.
Overshot the receiver. 35
They're plus
yards
2.5 now, the Rams. Total 47.5. His passing yards, so Stafford's at 43, and it's 279.5. Dear God, it's too high for me to bet. They know it.
33 and 3.
They know it.
That's
like
almost a 40-yard pick, by the way, for him to get that.
That's a lot of yards.
Yesterday was a joke, and it was free money, man. Caleb Williams was like 216.5 before, like, I kept hitting it in game. I'm like, all right, 251, 272, 2 whatever. Like, can he just every play, boom, boom, boom. This one's different, though. Like, they're just assuming that Stafford is going to go off here. So he's at 43, and 279.5, guys. And Kirk Cousins is at 68, and he's at 186.5. That's the way to go. Like, if the Rams punch back, Cousins is going to keep throwing the ball. And he is going to throw the ball anyways, guys.
That's true. No, they're not
I'm jumping in on Cousins.
I would take Cousins over Stafford.
Me too. It's a nice number.
233 yards.
186.5. Come on, you can dump off a screenplay to Bijan Robinson, who pops it for 53.
Yeah.
You're only worried with Cousins is that Drake London is not Drake London right now. He's hurt. He's not the same guy. But as you just said, we're not asking. They're not asking for much. 118 yards from this point forward. I mean, we would all take that if it was beginning of the game.
Yeah, there's a lot of football left. I like Kirk Cousins passing yards before the game started. I just couldn't bet at all. I mean, I can't bet. I was going to bet 30 props, but I was sort of waiting for the end game. I like that now.
Yeah. And I got a funny feeling that Atlanta kind of wants to make a statement tonight. I think they do like Raheem. I think Raheem wants to make a statement, nice little 30-14, 37-14 win over the Falcons, over the Rams would go a long way for him keeping his job. So I don't doubt for a second.
National television, players get fired up too. It's the holidays, right? Like even the Lions, like they lost, but even the Lions said no, forget about the playoffs. We lost the Thanksgiving Day game. Like, if we're going to play on Christmas, we better win, right? Like, players want to win, right? I mean, the Falcon players, no pressure on them either, right? So they can just have fun.
Want to grab? That said, you can get the Rams, plus 2.5 or even plus 136.
Ugh.
Now you take a step back and say, are they going to lose? Are they really going to lose?
I mean, I don't mind taking the rip, but I'm not taking them only plus 2.5 down 14.
If there is a franchise and a team that could choke this away, it is the Atlanta Falcons, though. Let's be real.
Yeah. And the Rams got the ball, right? And, they're down to the score. They have the ball.
I'm not ready to give up on the Rams yet.
Yeah. I would double down on the Rams now. I'll take my chances that they.
So
You're
getting 3.5, Scott. Now at least it's better.
Yeah, now it's 3.5. Yeah.
Yeah, like if it was 7.5 or something, I'm sure we'd all jump and be like, oh yeah, but the computer still thinks Stafford's going to have a big game, and they're only, like I said, they're plus 125 on the money line, only down 14.
Yeah, FanDuel just locked it. We'll see what they're coming up with. I have more faith in that, I think, than I do having Stafford go for basically 300 yards. You probably can't get to either one. But
if they do come back, Stafford probably does get the 300 yards.
Yeah,
they just threw on first down, so they're not playing around here. Like, they threw right away.
Yeah.
He's 281. All right, I'm going to bet Stafford just out of spite here, guys, just because I'm going to get it. So I got him both. I don't want to get mad, guys, when he hits a big play here in a minute. And, it's 303 now. It's 313. I knew it. Whatever. Because he's going to complete a pass or two. They can't be this bad for this long.
They can't. Yeah. Even if they score once, the odds will flip, and you can kind of middle if you want.
Where the hell's Puka Nacua?
They do this a lot. He doesn't play every day. This is not like they take him out a lot. Take all their players out.
Without Devontae Adams, you got to play.
They did it last week too, though. Nacua had 150 yards last week, and they rotated him all the time. I know. Every play. He's still at 90.5 yards, Nacua, by the way.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about every play. I'm just stating that
right now.
He's got one catch on the day. Like, come on. Like, guy normally catches like 13 passes a game.
I would bracket him too and force Stafford to throw to somebody else. I'm not letting Nacua beat me.
Rams Super Bowl odds up to 5-1 now. Them down 14-0. The 1 plus 460 to start tonight. Get George's thoughts on that when we come back.
Let's play a little buy or sell. I think it's pretty evident that despite being one of the best tight ends in the history of the NFL, Travis Kelce's play and physicality and everything, with all due respect, took a big step back. This was easily his worst physical season of all. He just didn't look like himself. Travis Kelce will retire after the season. Buy or sell?
Yeah, I'm probably 60-40 on this that he retires. The only thing I'd say that maybe he returns is because he doesn't want to end the way it ended, not making the playoffs and that sort of thing. But let's just say for Gabriel and Mahomes, he isn't going to be ready for September or October. And unless they get a really good veteran quarterback, maybe he doesn't want to deal with that either. Go through a training camp and he may not make the playoffs either next year. So I'm probably 60-40. I think he's done. Too bad. Hall of Fame career. I guess good luck with Travis Swift and your podcast with Jason.
I'm buying this. Andy Reid addressing this question this week. Why? He could have just deferred and said, I don't know, we'll see. Fully answered the question about this maybe being his last game. What does that tell you? He knows. Everybody knows. I'm not 60-40, 90-10. I'm on buy. Bo Nix versus Caleb Williams. You'd rather have Nix over Caleb Williams in a dynasty league.
That's a tough one. I think I'm going to go Caleb here, mainly because he has more running ability than Nix. I think he'll stay healthier than Nix. I might like his receivers more as well. He's got a Dunze. He's got you got DJ Moore. You got the good tight ends here. Probably do lean towards Williams here. Not by a hell of a lot. It wouldn't be an easiest choice here, but I'm going to go with Caleb Williams here.
I would agree. It's not that I think that Ben Johnson is a better coach than Sean Payton. I think Ben Johnson is better for Caleb Williams than Sean Payton will be for Bo Nix. I think running is going to be a big part of what Denver does in the future. So there you go. I'll sell.
Fantasy Sports Today. Friday starting at 3 p.m. Only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe chat with our good buddy George Kurtz, SportsGrid host, as we watch a little Falcons-Rams. Rams do have it at the Atlanta 41-yard line. They had it down to the 2. What happened? Why is FanDuel at the 41? Why FanDuel a little slow tonight?
Penalty.
Oh, they wiped off that pass. Well, they had it first and goal up to 2, but a penalty.
Yeah, legal formation.
All right. Yeah, how about the Rams now being 5-1, George? They were plus 460 to start the game. Gabe and I were talking. They're not getting the number 1 seed. They're not even winning the division. They're going to be on the road at least 2 games, to get to the Super Bowl, and yet they're the odds-on favorite at 5-1. Go figure.
They're not ready to play tonight. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, they're not.
4th and 11.
Stafford just missed through another pass to the core. Corum just got hurt. So this is a train wreck right now for the Rams. They're probably. I think if they lose, they could end up playing Philadelphia week 1 in Philly.
Yeah.
And I know they played very well against Philadelphia last year in the divisional round or whatever it might have been there. And it was snowing there. It was a miserable day. They played great. You can make an argument that they should have won the game here, and I know Philadelphia's got all sorts of problems. And I don't know if you wanted to, if that's who you want to play week 1 of the wild card, and then what? Have to go to Seattle? If that comes about here, or San Fran, it's a really rough road.
They're not playing well right now. Let's just call it off what it is. The Rams, all this hype about them being the favorite, they're not playing well.
They're playing like they don't care. Like they don't care about this game. Like they didn't.
Yeah, but they're playing guys, so they should, and they've lost. Like they're losing games, and you brought it up, Scott. I mean, you really want to lose 3 games in a row going to the playoffs. Like this is not a confident bunch right now. They look frustrated, which should help us try to get back in this game because I don't think they're going to tap out. But they clearly, I think they were too joyful. Like I said, they did a million interviews. McVay was laughing it up before the game. Their assistant coaches were doing interviews. Everybody was just sort of like in smile mode. And, hey, the Atlanta Falcons are come to play tonight.
Amazing. Yeah, any hockey tonight, George? You going to be riding Colorado? Going for their, 8th straight win, I think it is? 21-3, their last 24?
You know me with the Avalanche, right? You don't make money betting against them. Certainly not very often here. That being said, we got to lay the 220 there. Kings have their own problems, right? No Kemper. He's hurt here. So, I was on the goal line, though. I treat the Avalanche sort of like I treat the Dodgers. You know they're going to win more than their share of games, so you take the run line for the Dodgers, take the goal line for Colorado here. So that's where I went. And as always, you can always play your plenty of props here. If you want to go McKinnon, Necas. McCarr's been a little quiet lately. Brock Nelson is someone who I have for an anytime goal tonight.
Yeah.
I just jumped in on under 6.5. Buffalo Sabres and the St. Louis Blues. Buffalo Sabres with an 8-game win streak. Shocking. It's crazy that the Sabres are better than the Bills, but they are now. So it's just like that. The script is flipped. Yeah, the Sabres with an 8-game win streak. People wondered, could they keep it going coming out of the Christmas break? They did. Right now they're in St. Louis tonight. But one thing with the Sabres is they've been good defensively as of late. During this win streak, they don't give up a lot of goals. I know that Omar is in Ottawa, actually, has just stepped aside, which is pretty crazy. Pretty crazy development for the playoff chase here. So Buffalo's right in this thing, and they've been very good defensively. We got a 2-1 game right now. Bennington hasn't, and the Blues haven't been good defensively, but I like the under, and it was an even 6. I didn't bet it, but I just jumped in. It's 2-1 right now, guys, for the Blues with 10 minutes left in the second period. I'm on the Sabres, though, to win, but I just jumped in on the under 6.5.
I'm same thing pregame. I'm on the Sabres there as well. Once again, I play streak, so we'll take the streak there. I'm a little surprised it's still 6.5. You're paying for it here, minus 138. But that's the way to go, right? 3 goals to more than half the game here. And it's been at 3 goals for a long time. I think the Sabres scored early in the first period. I think it was 2-1 at the end of the first, if I remember correctly. So there's been no goals there for quite a while. I might have to go with you there on the under, though now it's minus 144.
How about a little flyer on Carolina, down 2-1 at home against the Rangers, 12.5 minutes left, getting plus 235. That's not bad. That's it's worth a flyer for me.
That's not, the Rangers are a decent defensive team here. We know they play better on the road than they do at home. They're not letting up a lot of goals. We're going to bet against Shesterkin here. I don't mind it because you're getting a good price at it. I think the Rangers just might hold on to this. I kind of like, if we get a tie game, we get over that 4.5. But you're paying a ridiculous price for it, so you're not going to do it at minus 235. But I think we could get the over in that game.
You want a good trend, guys, in the NHL? That's a weird one. Remember last week, 2 weeks ago, I think you were on that night, George, was the Montreal Canadiens. It was actually Fowler's debut and stuff. The Montreal Canadiens team bus, their buses got caught in a major accident. And they were late for the game. And just for the record, so the Montreal Canadiens, they had no pregame warm-up. They literally got there, they got to the arena, put their uniform on, had a little pregame skate, and then started the game type of deal. So, no, it broke their routine and all that, which people were like, oh, my God. Same thing happened today to the Columbus Blue Jackets, except they had plane problems. And they did not get there. They had to push the game back a half an hour. They didn't get to the airport until 4 o'clock Eastern time today. So it was the same thing. The coach said basically, no pregame warm-up, no nothing, boom. We'll face adversity, and they're winning right now. And there's Blake Corum leaving the game right now. Questionable return with an ankle injury. Yeah, this is just great for the Rams tonight, huh? And me, I got a Blake Corum touchdown prop.
So do I. I played the touchdown prop for him as well. So
another loss. Getting sick of this crap, man.
Yeah, we're not.
I've lost a lot of props guys over the last couple of weeks because of NFL injuries, man. It's getting stale. Getting tired of it.
I had one on Brock Bowers. He was a few hundred yards away from getting his reception yardage, and they sat him last week, and they're going to sit him again this week. So, yeah.
But he's hurt.
These props are just crazy.
They're not tanking. Yeah. He's hurt.
Yeah, he's hurt. Yeah.
Yeah, Bowers is hurt.
Yeah. All these guys get hurt. That's why 90%, literally 90% of all my props, season-long props that I lost were because of injuries, not because they didn't get to the number.
That's why you get a decent number at it, right? Well, you look at the props preseason, all the numbers like, he's going to get this easily. It's like 48 yards a game. But
you know what, though, guys?
Yeah.
Bowers was always hurt at Georgia. He was hurt, if you remember. It was always, he's playing, but he's hurt. Oh, he's out. He's out for a month. He's hurt, but he's okay. He's going to come back. History's just repeating itself. Brock Bowers, great player, but he's injury prone. Let's call it up what it is.
Good job, man.
Let's play a little buy or sell. I think it's pretty evident that despite being one of the best tight ends in the history of the NFL, Travis Kelce's play and physicality and everything, with all due respect, took a big step back. This was easily his worst physical season of all. He just didn't look like himself. Travis Kelce will retire after the season. Buy or sell?
Yeah, I'm probably 60-40 on this that he retires. The only thing I'd say that maybe he returns is because he doesn't want to end the way it ended, not making the playoffs and that sort of thing. But let's just say for Gabriel and Mahomes, he isn't going to be ready for September or October, unless they get a really good veteran quarterback. Maybe he doesn't want to deal with that either. Go through a training camp and he may not make the playoffs either next year. So I'm probably 60-40. I think he's done. Too bad. Hall of Fame career. I guess good luck with Travis Swift and your podcast with Jason.
I'm buying this. Andy Reid addressing this question this week. Why? He could have just deferred and said, I don't know, we'll see. Fully answered the question about this maybe being his last game. What does that tell you? He knows. Everybody knows. I'm not 60-40, 90-10. I'm on buy. Bo Nix versus Caleb Williams. You'd rather have Nix over Caleb Williams in a dynasty league.
That's a tough one. I think I'm going to go Caleb here, mainly because he has more running ability than Nix. I think he'll stay healthier than Nix. I might like his receivers more as well. Yeah, he's got a Dunze. He's got you got DJ Moore. You got the good tight ends here. Probably do lean towards Williams here. Not by a hell of a lot. It wouldn't be an easiest choice here, but I'm going to go with Caleb Williams here.
I would agree. It's not that I think that Ben Johnson is a better coach than Sean Payton. I think Ben Johnson is better for Caleb Williams than Sean Payton will be for Bo Nix. I think running is going to be a big part of what Denver does in the future. So there you go. I'll sell.
Fantasy Sports Today. Friday, starting at 3 p.m. Only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Thanks again, George Kurtz, for joining us. Oh, by the way, Carolina just scored. Tied it up with the Rangers 2-2. Now they go from a +2 and change underdog to a -154 favorite. So now you take a little flyer on the Rangers plus the 120, and you walk away an absolute winner. I do the same thing with Ottawa versus Columbus, even though we got that little plane crash system going on. And I would take Buffalo as Gabe, like you mentioned. I would do that with them as well, getting plus 230 at St. Louis, down only 2-1.
Well, we got an interesting development here, Wetzel. Stafford just threw another interception, but should be pass interference. I don't want to assume anything just because of and you know what? I just said I don't want to assume anything, and you can't. They called offensive pass interference, so the interception stands. Wow. Stafford drops back. So the guys, they get the ball back. You got like a minute and 50 left. They're literally at midfield. It's perfect. It's like, all right, you got it's perfect for you here. You get back in the game. You got half a field to work with. You get 2-minute drill here. Punch it in the end zone. You got a 14-7 football game. No. Stafford just carelessly heaves it up into double coverage. I don't see how the hell it's a penalty, but whatever. They're calling a push-off. Doesn't matter. Either way, it was intercepted. Hell of a catch by the guy in the Falcons. But so, yeah, Scott, just like that, like, for the total, it was perfect. We had the ball at midfield. Now the Falcons have the ball on their own 6-yard line, and now nothing's going to happen here. This game really is a disaster.
Wow. When's the last time the Rams were shut out in a half?
Oh, you can't make this up.
90-yard touchdown or something goofy?
Well, we gave you Bijan Robinson, rush yard over.
Oh, my goodness.
93-yard touchdown run, Scott.
I spoke it into existence. I was joking. Oh, my. You got to be 20-0. Just it went from 14-7, or at least, chances are, to 20-0.
The crowd's going crazy. Like I said, he's playing for the rushing title. Like, I knew he was going to be fired up. I got to prop my way out of this, Scott, because I'm on the Rams, and I'm blowing a nice parlay I had with Georgia Southern today. I'm like, Georgia Southern Rams, moneyline parlay is too easy. Oh, yeah, too easy, my ass. Hey, the Rams have time to score, though, Scott. They got $1.28 left. In-game total just spiked to 49.5, actually. 51.5 just came down. Wow, Robinson. He's already got guys. Rams. Robinson already has 138 total yards, Scott. We've already won the bet.
Wow.
Like 138 total yards. It was closed at 119.5. Odds makers can't set numbers high enough for this guy.
Yeah. See, this is the Falcon team that you look at and say, where the hell have they been all year?
Yeah.
How does this team lose to the Dolphins
this division? Like, you're better than the Bucks and Panthers are when you're good. Like, the hell did you guys do? How'd you screw this up? If I was a Falcon player, I'd just be like, after this, like, what the hell? Like, how did we manage not to win? Like, just a couple of games earlier in the year, huh? Like, they're right there. Like, literally, it's got one more win, and they wouldn't be eliminated right now, type thing. Yeah, one more, and they would have been in the picture, like Kurt said earlier.
Yeah. They are officially, at least the
no, they're eliminated. They're done. They're done.
Yeah.
They're done.
But it's only by one game. They got 6 wins. Carolina has, theoretically they could get to 8. Carolina already has 8. Tampa Bay would win. They would get to 8. Somehow they lose. They split with Tampa Bay, but somehow or another they must lose the head-to-head tiebreaker against the Buccaneers, because otherwise they wouldn't be officially eliminated. But, yeah, you look at their schedule. Listen, every team can do this.
Yeah, but it's easier. Exactly. It's easier to play well when you're eliminated.
Yeah, well, that too, right? But they lose to the Dolphins.
Look at the Miami Dolphins.
They lose to Carolina at home. They lose to the that's the one game. They lost to the Jets.
Yeah, that's the one. Like, looking back, they'll be like,
Jets and Dolphins,
because they have good wins. They beat the Bills. Who else they beat? They had some pretty quality wins actually. Atlanta. They beaten some good teams.
Minnesota. They beat Washington with
Daniels. Yeah,
Daniels was playing. So listen, they were 3-2. They were not only weren't they 3-2, they were 3-2 with wins over Minnesota, Washington, and Buffalo. I mean, they're like, okay, here we go. And
after that Buffalo game, people thought like, this is what this is coming together for them now finally.
Yeah.
Like I said, I thought they were going to compete for the division title this year. But this is the good team. This is the good Atlanta. right now. And the Rams are just like flat. And like you said, we'll track the Rams Super Bowl odds that are dropping rapidly right now. Like this Ram performance is affecting the Super Bowl market.
Yeah. And I don't think it's necessarily affecting it because they're dropping seed-wise. I think they're dropping because they realize these things is not that good. 21-0 Falcons. Wow.
Let's play a little buy or sell. I think it's pretty evident that despite being one of the best tight ends in the history of the NFL, Travis Kelce's play and physicality and everything, with all due respect, took a big step back. This was easily his worst physical season of all. He just didn't look like himself. Travis Kelce will retire after the season. Buy or sell?
Yeah, I'm probably 60-40 on this that he retires. The only thing I'd say that maybe he returns is because he doesn't want to end the way it ended, not making the playoffs and that sort of thing. But let's just say for Gabriel, at Mahomes, he isn't going to be ready for September or October. And unless they get a really good veteran quarterback, maybe he doesn't want to deal with that either. Go through a training camp and he may not make the playoffs either next year. So I'm probably 60-40. I think he's done. Too bad. Hall of Fame career. I guess good luck with Travis Swift and your podcast with Jason.
I'm buying this. Andy Reid addressing this question this week. Why? He could have just deferred and said, I don't know, we'll see. Fully answered the question about this maybe being his last game. What does that tell you? He knows. Everybody knows. I'm not 60-40, 90-10. I'm on buy. Bo Nix versus Caleb Williams. You'd rather have Nix over Caleb Williams in a dynasty league.
That's a tough one. I think I'm going to go Caleb here, mainly because he has more running ability than Nix. I think he'll stay healthier than Nix. I might like his receivers more as well. He's got a Dunze. He's got you got DJ Moore. You got the good tight ends here. Probably do lean towards Williams here. Not by a hell of a lot. It wouldn't be an easiest choice here, but I'm going to go with Caleb Williams here.
I would agree. It's not that I think that Ben Johnson is a better coach than Sean Payton. I think Ben Johnson is better for Caleb Williams than Sean Payton will be for Bo Nix. I think running is going to be a big part of what Denver does in the future. So there you go. I'll sell.
Fantasy Sports Today. Friday, starting at 3 p.m. Only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back. It is in-game live game day here on the grid. So really kind of moment of truth here for the LA Rams if they're going to get themselves back into this football game. I mean, this would be the time. And, you make the case the Rams can score here, maybe make it 21-7 or at least 21-3 anyway. Then they get the ball to start the second half, and then, you make a score there, and then boom, all of a sudden you're kind of back into the game. So Stafford's up to 96 yards passing with his 2 interceptions. Puka's got 2 receptions for 18 yards. That's going to be a bit of a struggle. And they can't run the ball. Like 10 carries for 26 yards. Corum with 18 and Williams with 8. So, but really,
and Corum left with an injury.
And he left with an injury. Yeah. So we'll see if he comes
and Stafford
back.
Just got sacked. This is just a complete disaster. Now it's 3rd and long. They just can't get out of their own way. And they're running out of time. They've got 3 timeouts left. It doesn't even matter now. Like, they're not even trying. Like, there's no urgency. They're ready to pack up here in this half. What a disastrous first half. I really wish I would have seen this coming with the Falcons tonight.
Yeah.
I thought the Falcons would show up, but I figured it would be like one of these sort of, 31-21 type of games, or, you know what I mean? 35-27 or something. It'd be competitive, but the Rams would win by a touchdown.
Yeah.
21-0 at the half. You got to be kidding me.
How many people would say 21-0 if I gave you the score and not who was leading? How many people would say Falcons 21-0? Right? Nobody. No, the biggest Falcon fan in the world wouldn't have guessed 21-0 Falcons. So
wow.
If you gave in with the over, if you told me I'd get 21 points out of the Falcons, I'd really love the over.
Now the total's 47.5 now only. It's not even that high, but you got to wonder, are the Rams going to give us anything in this football game tonight?
Yeah. I mean, like I said earlier, I don't think they would pull Stafford, because next week is the week where you really want. But man, just
they're
awful.
playing so
They didn't even
poorly. You
try.
know they want to get a touchdown on the board at least. Yeah, whatever, dude. Garoppolo is the backup. I'm not sure you want to get your backup hurt either going into the playoffs. So it's kind of a weird dynamic here. But there's 2 weeks left in the season. I mean, they still have another game. There's no time to be rolling over, but here we are. I don't really think it's a case of them rolling over. I just don't think they were really ready, and from an intensity standpoint that the Falcons sort of just brought. A lot of Falcon players, though, are all smiles right now. It could be a comeback if the Rams got into it enough. They're only getting 9.5 now, too, which is kind of. I'm hoping for the over here. Give me the over, and I'll get a split, and we'll get out of here with the over. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right, let's bring in our good buddy Tom Vecchio, SportsGrid host. We see it here all the time. Get his thoughts. So what's going on, Tom? 21-0. I'm sure you had this Falcons leading right at the half.
Yeah, I would echo a lot of what you guys said. To Gabe's point, I thought the Falcons would show up. And if you said the Falcons were to get to 17 tonight, 20 tonight, I'd say, yeah, they get to 20. Rams get to 30. Rams win the game. We get some points. I'm on Stafford over completions. I thought he would want to go out there and put up a decent performance, partially considering what Drake May did yesterday, the MVP race, little back and forth action. I thought the Rams would win this game. And I thought they'd be in that 28 to 31, 34 type of scoring range, and comfortably the over. As Scott, I've talked to you about it before. I like to tease this game, so I teased the Rams down and then took the over, the over down, then took it up and over. So I was like, okay, Rams down to 1, the total down a little bit. I was like, this is where we're at. Rams win the game, and we get some scoring. I am shocked by this, legitimately floored by the outcome that we have.
Stafford's just been bad tonight, guys. Hey, Tom, just casually throwing the ball up and
And to think that what he did against Seattle, they're coming off of extra rest. They played on Thursday. You think them coming off of extra rest? Okay, there's no Devontae. They didn't have Devontae last week, but they have enough on offense against this defense. They should not be struggling.
They can't run the ball either. Couldn't run the ball. It was an overall. I think they have enough pride, guys, that they show something. I thought they were going to show something on that last drive, actually. Yeah, right.
I will say the Falcons upset the Bills on Monday night in week 5, week 6, whenever that was. In prime time. Maybe the Falcons just show up at home.
Another thing is, too, all the Kirk Cousins sucks in prime time narratives getting blown up.
How's that working out?
This whole thing. He's won his last 3. I saw this thing about he's 5 and 15. He's 5-1 in his last 6 primetime games, guys. So I think we got to let this whole thing go with his primetime thing.
It's amazing how your primetime record goes up if you can get a defensive touchdown and a 90-plus yard running.
Primetime goes up when Bijan Robinson, you got him on your team, Scott. He runs 93-yard touchdown runs. How about this, though, Tom? Normally, you'd be like, nah, it's crazy. But you could say the same thing about Derrick Henry the other day. And he's playing for the rushing title as well, not to mention. So he's right now, Robinson. I played his total yards over 119.5, and it's already sailed over that. But so he's got 125 rushing yards, Tom, and the prop is 167.5 right now.
Yeah,
I don't really see why he doesn't go over this.
Yeah, I was going to say the 167 doesn't seem high enough, and. Robinson, I have a receiving prop on him over 17.5 for his longest reception. I see no reason why they have to pass him the ball at this point. So I'm just chalking up that as a loss. But 166, whatever it is for Robinson, we're only talking about 40 yards here, and you like to think that the Rams show some fight, but the more that they score, the more that the Rams score, the more that the Falcons are just going to try and control the game and hand the ball to him even more.
You want to go Algier? 17 to 31.5. He's got to get some carries too, right? They're not going to give it all to Bijan.
They like Tyler Algier, and they use him in the red zone.
He might poach a touchdown.
Yeah, I have Algier for a touchdown. I played both him and Blake Corum, and I don't think Blake Corum's coming back at this point, but I played them both just thinking that the running backs and the backups would get plenty of usage. And they like Tyler Algier once they get inside the 10 and inside the 5 at the goal line, just because he is a big back. And there have been so many times this season that we have seen Algier vulture away the touchdown from Bijan. So giving him extra carries to end the season wouldn't shock me at all.
Yeah, I like that one. Normally, Tom, we go to the losing quarterback and automatically, basically, play over his passing yards. That would be Matthew Stafford. He's at 96. They're giving you 262.5. If he plays the whole way, I can't help but think he's going to be throwing the whole time. But I'd hate to have them fall behind 28-0, and then Boy Wonder Jr., as I like to call him, call off the dogs and sit him.
Right. Yeah, I mean that's a very real scenario. The question I would pose to anyone that was thinking about the Stafford bet is like, do you have anything in pocket on him already? Do you have the Rams covering already? Because if you have the Rams covering already or Stafford prop already, I honestly wouldn't double down given the game script. If it was 21-14, I would say fire away. Go up to 260, ultimate 300, he'll get there because they're in the game and they'll get to scoring. But to your point, if they fall behind 28-7, I don't know if Stafford's going to be back out there. You guys were talking about it before. Like, it's a weird scenario where they are in the season knowing that it's not over, even next week.
Yeah. It's weird, Tom. There is an advantage for the Rams winning their last two. Dave and I were talking. There's such a drop-off from having to face Tampa Bay or Carolina or, facing whoever else it is, whether it's Philadelphia, whether it's Chicago, whether it's San Fran. There's such a drop. Like, I just don't understand this performance out of them.
I said this, to Brady last night when we were talking through different scenarios, when we were on IGL doing, the 49ers game last night. Whatever team wins, Panthers or Bucks, doesn't matter. Whatever team faces them, doesn't matter. That road team will be a road favorite in round one. There's no way that team is going to be a home favorite. If it's the Rams playing at the Panthers again, it's going to be another 10-point game. So playing them, to your point, is absolutely vital.
Difference is a trip to Philadelphia or a trip to Tampa or Carolina, which is a pretty big difference.
It's massive.
That's big. I mean, so how do you explain it then? They're not that good? Is that maybe they're just not that good, right?
I think it's a lot to do with the Falcons, guys. I think the Falcons just freaking brought it so far tonight. Let's just call it out for what it is. They're really ready to ball.
All right, talk with Tom Vecchio. We'll get some more thoughts from him when we come back here on the Grid.
Let's play a little buy or sell. I think it's pretty evident that despite being one of the best tight ends in the history of the NFL, Travis Kelce's play and physicality and everything, with all due respect, took a big step back. This was easily his worst physical season of all. He just didn't look like himself. Travis Kelce will retire after the season. Buy or sell?
Yeah, I'm probably 60-40 on this that he retires. The only thing I'd say that maybe he returns is because he doesn't want to end the way it ended, not making the playoffs and that sort of thing. But let's just say for Gabriel and Mahomes, he isn't going to be ready for September or October. And unless they get a really good veteran quarterback, maybe he doesn't want to deal with that either. Go through a training camp and he may not make the playoffs either next year. So I'm probably 60-40. I think he's done. Too bad. Hall of Fame career. I guess good luck with Travis Swift and your podcast with Jason.
I'm buying this. Andy Reid addressing this question this week. Why? He could have just deferred and said, I don't know, we'll see. Fully answered the question about this maybe being his last game. What does that tell you? He knows. Everybody knows. I'm not 60-40, 90-10. I'm on buy. Bo Nix versus Caleb Williams. You'd rather have Nix over Caleb Williams in a dynasty league.
That's a tough one. I think I'm going to go Caleb here, mainly because he has more running ability than Nix. I think he'll also stay healthier than Nix. I might like his receivers more as well. He's got Dunze, he's got you got DJ Moore, you got the good tight ends here. Probably do lean towards Williams here. Not by a hell of a lot. It wouldn't be an easiest choice here, but I'm going to go with Caleb Williams here.
I would agree. It's not that I think that Ben Johnson is a better coach than Sean Payton. I think Ben Johnson is better for Caleb Williams than Sean Payton will be for Bo Nix. I think running is going to be a big part of what Denver does in the future. So there you go. I'll sell.
Fantasy Sports Today. Friday starting at 3 p.m. Only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Just saw a little thing on TV. Falcons 8-1 their last 9 Monday Night Football games, including 3 in a row. It might be 9-1 after tonight because
the Rams
21-0. Yeah, the Rams are 0-4. Yeah, so go figure if you like trends, right? So, Tom, where are we going as far as the Rams are concerned? With Super Bowl odds, we were talking about it. You know, they were +4. I saw a 460. Might have been even lower than that before the kickoff. They're up to +550. They're not getting home field advantage in the first round the way they're playing right now. They're going to be a wild card team. So if not them as the Super Bowl favorite, who should it be in your eyes?
Frankly, at this point, I don't know a reason why we wouldn't put a team like Denver or the Eagles there. And the Eagles, it's based on pedigree. Obviously, they've done it before, and their season has been a roller coaster. It's been up and down. It's looked great. It's looked terrible. The offense is terrible. The defense is great. Vice versa. It's all over the place. But, knowing what Denver can do on defense, having home field advantage, a more significant home field advantage than others. Everyone likes to talk about like a home field advantage about 1.5 points. That's not the case when it comes to Mile High. It's just a little bit more. But the pedigree with Sean Payton, we have pedigree from a winning team with the Eagles. We have pedigree with Payton. And although Bo Nix has improved it in the playoffs, obviously last year, the one loss to the Bills, they have the defense and they have the recipe, really, I think, to get it done. They can be opportunistic on offense. They don't need to be scoring 30 or 40 points a game. But if you get to 24, that defense can hold anyone to 17.
There's been a flip. Seattle are now the Super Bowl favorites. +500. Rams +550. Denver +800. Philadelphia 9-1. And San Francisco +850. That'll be my pick, guys. San Francisco out of the NFC. Despite the injuries, they find a way to win. Brock Purdy showed that the kid can ball. He is an athlete. He can make plays. And McCaffrey is unstoppable. And you guys want to talk about road trips and stuff. They're being slept on. They don't have to leave San Francisco. They win on Sunday. They have home field advantage, and the Super Bowl's in San Francisco.
Right.
That's it. They can, they don't have to, all right, we're not traveling for the rest of the year no matter what happens, guys. Right. This is it.
So
That's
I will
massive.
Say,
try to beat San Francisco in two games on their home field with them knowing that the freaking Super Bowl is in their backyard. They're going to be a tough out and I do think they're going to beat Seattle on Saturday night.
Right.
Which is at home. Oh, by the way.
Yes. I will say, talking about the Super Bowl, one of my favorite bets, which we will talk about as the playoffs get finalized, is betting the Super Bowl MVP before the playoffs start.
Oh, interesting.
So let's, like, Gabe, you like the 49ers, right? I wouldn't, let's say I didn't love the 49ers number. It's 9-1.
So you just say Brock Purdy to win the MVP.
Or McCaffrey.
So McCaffrey.
So let's say by the time the playoffs roll around, the 49ers are 9-1. Let's say they drop to 7-1. We'll just make a number, right? But you'll get McCaffrey's number at 15-1 or Purdy at 18-1, whatever it might be. You're effectively betting on their Super Bowl odds because if they win it, it's going to be one of those two players. So I always like to look for that longer shot where it's like, I don't like the odds at 5-1, 6-1. Let me find a player that I think is going to win the MVP. Like, it's going to be JSN in my mind if the Seahawks win. So I'll take a shot on that. That's how I would approach things. And you get significantly better numbers. Now, obviously, there's a scenario where McCaffrey has 1 touchdown and Brock Purdy throws for 4 and he just wins it and you lose the bet. But I think fundamentally, you'd be on the right side of things before the Super Bowl rolls around. You're a month early on it.
All right, so San Fran right now is 9-1, right? So what do you think the odds would be for McCaffrey to win the MVP or Purdy?
They would both be over 15 or 20-1 because we'd be dealing with the entire field. And we'd have to be dealing with all of the teams that are favorites ahead of them. All of those main players, Hurts, Allen, Drake May, et cetera, all those players would have to be booked ahead of them because their odds suggest that from a team level that they are favorites before these other teams.
Stafford gets sacked on the first play of the second half. That's a great start.
Oh,
they did complete a pass to Nakua after. Nakua's prop was 6.5, guys. Like, you figure they are going to go to 1 million times here in the second half.
They have to.
Yeah, they got it locked now. He's up to 29. But down to 7. His number was $1.08.
Insane.
They're already in 4th down. Just like that. They're already in 4th down.
They got to go for it? Right around midfield?
Really, this offense is just terrible. Like you guys said, who would have thought that the total tonight we're going to get screwed because of the Rams?
The Rams.
Yeah.
They were thinking about going for it at 4th and 6 at midfield here.
I would have been okay with it.
Yeah. And you know what? They are. They are going to go for it, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind it. Let's do something. You kind of
might as well. Listen, if you end up losing, you could go down by 28 or 30 or 31. Then it's over at that point. Just pull.
That pretty much was the game, guys. They get stopped. Atlanta scores. It's 28-0.
Yeah.
Like McVay basically said, all right, this is it. Screw it. Whatever happens on this play. And they completed, and it's a big play all the way down to the 15-yard line.
You're like 5 seconds ahead of me, yeah.
Rams team total went down to 19.5.
Okay.
You know, I'm surprised with that first down, to tell you the truth, because it was 20.5 a second ago, and then it flipped down to 19.5. You know, all different ways of betting the Rams being competitive.
Should be Halloween instead of Christmas and New Year's right now. It's a weird night, weird game.
This game is just weird. Yeah.
You know, you knew after last night it was too easy, right? All those props hit. It was so easy for everybody.
Yeah,
you know, it's just one of those. It's like, it can't be just free money tonight, can it? No.
Wow. You know, the Falcons number is 27.5. Now, it's a little juiced, minus 146, but
27.5. What, only one more touchdown? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Let me see. What do I have?
Not going to score one more touchdown?
I think they want to just put up a performance at home on prime time. You know, that's
I got 28.5. They're squeezing me. I got 28.5 minus 140.
Like, I thought the Falcons would want to come out and score. Like, get to 20 points. And that's what I thought they were going to be at tonight, around 20. And the Rams would be at 30. And we'd be at that total. And the Rams would win. But that's out
if
the window.
The Rams get 7 here, the party continues. If they don't, if they go for it and they get stopped or whatever, this game's just going to go straight to hell in a handbasket. We need a touchdown here.
I think we get it. I think the Rams are going to put it right here. Good job, man. As always, appreciate it. We'll again on Thursday.
Of course.
Let's play a little buy or sell. I think it's pretty evident that despite being one of the best tight ends in the history of the NFL, Travis Kelce's play and physicality and everything, with all due respect, took a big step back. This was easily his worst physical season of all. He just didn't look like himself. Travis Kelce will retire after the season. Buy or sell?
Yeah, I'm probably 60-40 on this that he retires. The only thing I'd say that maybe he returns is because he doesn't want to end the way it ended, not making the playoffs and that sort of thing. But let's just say for Gabriel and Mahomes, he isn't going to be ready for September or October, unless they get a really good veteran quarterback. Maybe he doesn't want to deal with that either. Go through a training camp, and he may not make the playoffs either next year. So I'm probably 60-40. I think he's done. Too bad. Hall of Fame career. I guess good luck with Travis Swift and your podcast with Jason.
I'm buying this. Andy Reid addressing this question this week. Why? He could have just deferred and said, I don't know, we'll see. Fully answered the question about this maybe being his last game. What does that tell you? He knows. Everybody knows. I'm not 60-40, 90-10. I'm on buy. Bo Nix versus Caleb Williams. You'd rather have Nix over Caleb Williams in a dynasty league.
That's a tough one. I think I'm going to go Caleb here, mainly because he has more running ability than Nix. I think he'll also stay healthier than Nix. I might like his receivers more as well. He's got Dunze, he's got you got DJ Moore, you got the good tight ends here. Probably do lean towards Williams here. Not by a hell of a lot. It wouldn't be an easiest choice here, but I'm going to go with Caleb Williams here.
I would agree. It's not that I think that Ben Johnson is a better coach than Sean Payton. I think Ben Johnson is better for Caleb Williams than Sean Payton will be for Bo Nix. I think running is going to be a big part of what Denver does in the future. So there you go. I'll sell.
Fantasy Sports Today. Friday, starting at 3 p.m. Only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe, hour number 2. Thanks again to Tom Vecchio for joining us there. Some good news. Football's not going too well, but we're doing okay in hockey. We got the tying goal out of Carolina, and we got the tying goal, Gabe, out of the Buffalo Sabres. 2-2 after 2 now against the St. Louis Blues. We grabbed them plus 2-1 odds as big dogs. And Colorado has scored 1-0 against the LA Kings after 1. Boy, the Avs are just on fire. It's one of the best advantages of hockey. The advantages to me in hockey are so much more than in any other sport. Football's not bad with teasers. I do like that. But Colorado, if you just bet them to win in regulation, they went from a 240 favorite to minus 145. Took almost 100 points off the board. And I don't go into a game thinking, all right, the team's going to win in overtime. I know they can, but and this is far from over, don't get me wrong, but it makes it bettable. I enjoy doing that much more than I do laying a goal and a half. You do get a ton of one-goal games, even in these situations where you think they're going to win by 4 or 5. So 1-0 Colorado. Good news there.
Yeah, regulation is good for a team like Colorado, and the Rams just held to a field goal. 21-3. So now he kicks the field goal. If he just would have kicked the field goal earlier or whatever, would have softened, would have changed the dynamic of the game earlier, just would have been 7-3 and just would have been different. But instead, no, he's got to go for it. Now he just says, screw it. I'm just taking the damn 3 points. But the total has just fallen to 44.5, which somewhat surprises me, guys, because I don't think the Rams have quit. They're just not, it's not working for them. The Falcons are really showing up here. Either way, guys, 45 is not that much more, Scott. We're at 24 right now. 21 points gets you there. Right? Atlanta aren't going to stop trying to score, guys. So now they're going to give the ball to Robinson a bunch of times here, and either Atlanta scores or better off scenario would be like a quick turnover, a quick stop or something, and the Rams make it 21-10, and then we really do have a real game, right?
Right. That's what we
But
need.
40. I think 44.5 is manageable, though. I don't think this game's over yet. There's still 11 minutes left in the third quarter, guys. A lot of football left.
Yeah. That's why I was surprised with that. Listen, they can only put it so high, but Rams team total is down actually to 16.5. Wow. They got 3.
So that's 2 touchdowns. Can they score 14 points?
It's so rare. I looked this up, Gabe, right? I got a sheet from, I think it was from our boy Mark Lawrence, right? So he gave out teams' records in one-score games. And I'm adding them up, and I'm thinking, boy, that's a lot of one-score games. So I looked it up today. There are 255 football games heading into tonight. Just to take a guess, how many one-score games out of 255 you think we've had this season?
One-score games out of 255?
Yeah.
175?
No, not that many, but it's over half, 137. Over half the games in the NFL are one-score games.
Yeah, there's not that many blowouts. Most of them are.
There really are. Yeah, there really are.
The Bills actually went. The Bills, and they've only lost, I think maybe Houston broke the record twice on them. The Bills went, Scott, it was ridiculous. Josh Allen had never lost by more than 7 points type thing. Where it was no, that's impossible. And it was no, actually, if you look, he never did. When the Bills lost, they never lose. They rarely ever get blown out. Right? So, yeah, it doesn't surprise me. That's why you figure the teasers, if you're going to bet teasers, the same game teaser is harder. Right? Because essentially it's the same game parlay. Just, that's what it is with different odds. But with the teasers, there are certain teams, Scott, over the years, the Lions are a good example of it. The Chargers are a good example of it. The Bills, they just play close games all the time. They'll either win or they'll lose a close one. And they're just sort of automatic teaser games. Imagine if you dug down deeper into the teams that have all these one-score games and you just added 7 points to the spread all the time, you would win every time. Yeah. Right? But you've got to match the right teams together.
Yeah. I'll give you a stat. I keep track of this stuff. 6-point favorites.
Holy crap, guys. You can't make this up. So
turnover?
No, Robinson again. They have him stop for a tackle in the back. It looks like, oh boy, he finally stumbled. He stumbled and somehow still turned it into a 50-yard run. We took him at the half again. We said, why not? It's only like 41 more yards or whatnot. Like, it's pretty crazy. What did he just rack up on this one? Let me see.
Got him at,
like I said, it was another.
It's got to be at least 40, right?
31 yards only.
31
Not bad, but he just tacked on. So he's up to 156 right now.